1332.
1332. Look at you, man. I still like the book, you know. But of that day and hour, no one knows, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father. So clearly it says that of that day and hour, no one knows. Not that people forgot, no one knows, not even the angels in heaven, nor the Son, but only the Father. So that clearly shows the Son cannot be God, because that's like having a square circle. Either you know or you don't know.
All right, so my question to you is, and so...
There's a question, you're going to throw that question back at me?
Yeah, of course.
Come on, what about an answer?
This is how Jesus answered. He answered with questions a lot of times.
All right.
So the first thing that I'm going to ask you is, what is your assumption? Because you're obviously assuming that he's saying, using the word know in a form of ignorance, right?
I'm just reading.
Okay. So what is?
I'm not assuming.
Have you read?
I think you know the English.
Have you read the? Have you read the previous verses before that?
Sure.
So what's it about?
Assuredly, I say to you.
No, what's it about?
I mean, I haven't memorized.
You don't know?
it. No,
Come on, man.
I read that.
When you bring a verse,
Okay, yeah.
and you got it highlighted,
Gotcha.
I'm expecting you to know the context.
Sure.
So what is he talking about?
I mean, I've read the Bible cover to cover, right?
Come on,
But
Sheikh.
now you tell me the context.
Okay, so I'll tell you now.
Go for it.
So the context is Jesus is literally detail for detail telling you everything that's about to happen up until his coming.
Okay.
Detail by detail,
Excellent.
destruction of the temple,
Right.
destruction of the city,
Right.
how the persecution is going to come,
Okay.
the rebuilding of the temple,
Okay.
the abomination of the Antichrist is going to come,
Gotcha.
and how the sun will be darkened, detail by detail by
Detail,
detail
letter
by
by letter,
detail
line
by
by line.
detail.
Okay.
Exactly. And then all of a sudden says, oh, well, no one knows the day of the hour, not even the Son, but the Father in heaven.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you this: does it make?
I don't think that was an answer.
No, does it make sense to you? I'm just trying to put this in perspective. Does it make sense to you for, number one, Jesus to lay out everything that's going to happen on that day, up until that day, and say that he doesn't know when he's going to come?
Makes perfect sense.
It doesn't make sense at all.
The Bible doesn't make sense.
No,
You
your understanding of that doesn't make sense.
let me ask.
No, I'm not done.
You asked a question. Does it make sense? I mean,
yeah, you said it makes.
Go ahead,
You said it makes perfect sense to you.
I got you.
So let me just. So another way that you can look at this, which is the correct way contextually, is that Jesus is not speaking of knowledge when it comes to ignorance, but he's talking about declarative. It's a declarative sense.
Look, come on.
I know.
You know you're stretching.
No, I'm not.
Okay, look.
Because I want to show you.
Hold on.
I want to show you an example.
Just 1 second.
No, can I show you an example?
Let me just read it.
No,
right?
you read it already.
Look.
Let me show you an example, Uthman.
But okay, let me just read it and you can show me.
Go ahead. I'll show you an example after you read it.
Of
Go ahead.
that day and hour, no one knows. That's pretty simple.
After he just laid out everything that's about to happen.
Exactly. So like I was going to say, but you didn't let me, but let me say it now. The Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he told us about the signs of the Day of Judgment, some very detailed signs, some very specific signs, right? But then when he was asked about when exactly is the Day of Judgment, he said nobody knows except Allah, right? I could tell you whatever Allah has revealed to the Prophet, yes, he would know. So whatever Allah revealed to Jesus, the son of Mary, peace and blessings be upon him, we love him, then yes, he knows. All those details that Allah revealed, yes, but some things only God knows. Only Allah knows. And that's exactly why, as you mentioned the context, that he's mentioning all the details, but then he says, but of that day and hour, no one knows.
No.
Not no one declares. Don't change words.
I don't got to change anything.
Don't put your own.
So can I show you an example now? All right, go ahead.
Don't put your own wording into it. But no one knows, not even the angels in heaven. Not that the angels aren't going to declare it, is that they don't know, nor the Son, but only the Father. Go ahead.
All right, very good. So go to 1 Corinthians for me, chapter 2.
Go for it. Here you go.
You don't know where it is, man? You got all right, go to it, man.
I was just trying to help you.
Wrong way, man. You got to go the other way. Corinthians in the New Testament. Sheikh.
I got you. Relax. We've gone over Corinthians many a time.
All right, good. You should know where it is.
You know, we will get.
You're rusty, man. You got all these highlights.
I got you.
Very good.
That's why I got you right here, and that's why I have these, right? So I can know where I can get you.
All right, very
good.
Go ahead. Chapter 2.
You said 1 Corinthians?
Chapter 2.
Chapter 2.
All right. So let's go ahead and read.
Go ahead, bro.
All right. So this is Paul.
Okay.
Right? This is who he's talking.
Not Jesus.
I'm just showing you an example of how Noah is used.
So I can be clear.
I already told you.
Okay.
You got to. So this is what he says. And I, brethren, when I came to you, right? So he visited the believers in Corinth.
Okay.
Did not come with excellent of speech or of wisdom, declaring to you the testimony of God.
Okay.
For I determined not to know anything among you except Jesus Christ and him crucified.
Okay.
So here's my question to you.
Okay.
When he says that I determined to not know anything except Jesus and him crucified, does that literally mean that Paul didn't know anything except Jesus and him crucified?
Sure. So here, definitely Paul, from, again, I'm not an expert on the Bible. You're just asking my opinion, right?
Just a logical conclusion.
No, there's not a lot, because again, you would have to be looking at the textual background and all that, but I can tell you my opinion. In my opinion, what he's saying is that the emphasis that all he has is on Jesus and his crucifixion.
Exactly.
Right? But there's a difference here. This is why I said you can't play with verses.
There's not a difference. I wasn't done.
Look, you're not done?
No, because there's not a difference.
I'll let you finish.
So Uthman, listen.
Go ahead.
When you see a clear example, where Paul says, "I determined to know nothing, except Jesus and him crucified."
Gotcha.
So that means that it's not that he didn't know anything. It means that he only decided to declare or make known Jesus and him crucified.
Excellent.
Clear example of how no is used.
Excellent.
And the context tells you. So when we go back to Jesus' example, where we see where he's literally laying out detail by detail everything that's happening. And then he says that the Son doesn't know the hour, nor the angels, nor no man. He's not saying that he himself is ignorant of the day, but he's saying that it's not for him to make known to them. It's not for him to declare. There's an example of this. Go to Acts chapter 1, please.
Let me ask you a couple of things first.
You got to let me finish this.
Okay, go ahead. I'm going to let you finish it.
So go to Acts chapter 1, because he's asked the same question. And notice how differently he answers.
Gotcha.
Acts chapter 1.
I got you. Acts 1, chapter 1. Go ahead.
All right, so let's see here. Around verse 7, he said to them, oh, okay, so verse...
You're slipping.
See, I'm just trying to find
bro. Come on.
Verse 5, I think it is.
Avery's
all right, here it is. So, Acts chapter 1.
Okay.
Starting at verse 6.
5 or 6?
That's 6.
Okay.
So it says, therefore, when they had come together, they asked him, saying, Lord, will you at this time restore the kingdom to Israel? Same question that they asked him, right?
Okay. Well, it's the hour of Israel.
Right. And at the hour, he's talking about how the Son of Man will come and restore Israel.
Okay.
That's the same context of Mark, right?
Go ahead.
We in agreement?
Kind of.
Okay, good. All right. So I'll take that.
Go ahead.
So watch what Jesus says.
Okay.
Verse 7, and he said to them, it is not for you to know.
Okay.
The times or the seasons which the Father has put in his own authority.
Okay.
So notice how he doesn't say it's not for us to know,
but
or he doesn't say he doesn't stop. Please pay attention to the context. Don't jump. So why doesn't he say, I told you guys already, I don't know.
Okay.
But instead he answers and says, it's not for you to know the times that the Father has fixed.
I'm going to let you finish.
All right, yeah, I'm just wrapping it up. So how Jesus compares his coming, he compares it to a Jewish wedding in chapters previous to this. He compares the coming of the Son of Man to a Jewish wedding. Okay. And according to tradition in a Jewish wedding, it's the father that announces the day of the wedding. It's not the groom or the bride. Yes, they know, but they're not the one that makes it known. They're not the one who declares it. I'm gonna let you finish. So this is the point. The point is, it's not a point of ignorance, but it's a point of declaration.